Alright, now we have the expensive version of the video you've been waiting for. Hey forum, my name is Manny, aka CascadeScents, and if you're at all interested in perfumes, colognes, fragrances in general, well, this might be the channel for you. I'm not a fragrance expert, more like a fragrance enthusiast, and if you're also into discussing fragrances, I think you'll really enjoy this topic. Of course, it's all my most complimented fragrances of the year, niche edition. But just a friendly reminder before we get on with it, as always, 500 likes and a random one of you subscribers in the comment section below will be the lucky recipient of an assorted niche fragrance sample pack. So if you'd like to potentially win some really expensive samples of some really expensive fragrances, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. But for now, here we go. I can't wait to get into this. Those of you who've been watching my channel for a minute now will kind of know that I'm really into niche fragrances. I kind of live for them, especially ones that are super crowd-pleasing. Like, I like having the best of both worlds as far as designer crowd-pleasing tendencies, but of course with the creativity and or quality of what you'd expect from something from a higher cachet in niche fragrances typically. So yeah, with that being said, and without further ado, we might as well get into some of my niche compliment getting favorites. Starting with this one right here, it's Silver Mountain Water by Creed. Now if you've been watching this channel for years, you would know that Silver Mountain Water is a mainstay of this specific video annually. It's hard to ignore, if not hard to not love. It's a glacial style that's a little bit inky. You have that tea note with the blackcurrant at the top, which is slightly fruity, but ultimately kind of leans towards a more inky style, according to some people. I wouldn't say it's completely inky per se, because I don't think it's something that I wouldn't want to eat. I do think that kind of smells fruity and or tasty, more like a dark kind of fruity. But the more you get into this wear, I swear that tea comes off as more glacial, as the name would imply in Silver Mountain Water. Like, it just smells like an alpine getaway of a scent, which of course this is based on again. On top of that, you have a musky dry down, so when people are up close to you and you've been wearing this for a while, you're bound to get some sort of feedback with this. At least that's what I found in my experience, and of course the performance is no slouch, which is nice because that's not the case for all Creeds. But yeah, Silver Mountain Water, what can I say? It's here yet again. It works, it's proven, and I definitely think you should check it out if you've yet to. Alright, moving on to the next fragrance, we have one by Kilian. It's called Rolling in Love. Of course, this made my October favorites video last month, and I think I also mentioned it that this fragrance was also given to me by Kilian himself, which was really cool when I was able to meet with him in Toronto about 2-3 months ago. We were commemorating the release of this fragrance, and honestly, it was love at first sniff for me. The most prominent note being almond milk, which I think is really cool. Comes off as really creamy off of my skin, especially when it furthermore dries down into a musk. There's also a little bit of a floral fruity nature as well, so that helps it come off as a little bit more delicious and intoxicating, and just a really overall nice skin type of a scent. And it's definitely one that I recommend for people who don't want something that's quote-unquote perfumey, but rather something that you might forget about as far as a scent cloud until you get the odd waft here and there and people actually also get it too. Like, I remember one time I was wearing this and I completely forgot I was wearing it until I got an unsolicited compliment from someone. She said she really liked it. She asked what it was, and again, that's a really flattering compliment, but I just thought that was really cool because I kind of forgot it was there until someone came into my personal space and told me about it. So it's not a beast as far as performance, but again, if you want something that is more personal for you and your loved ones, then I think this is hard to hate. Everything about this scent is just really appropriate, again, including that name. So there it is again, it's Rolling in Love by Kilian. Next up, we have my bona fide favorite spring-summer feedback getter. It is called Wulong Cha by Nishane. It's funny because people don't typically think of tea fragrances as ones that are really popular as far as feedback, but here I have two on this list, and again, Wulong Cha being the one I've been getting more of recently. And it's weird because it's also really green on top of the tea. There's other green notes here that might be polarizing for some, but when you combine it with the Litsia cubeba smell, which is really citrusy, it's just so crisp and fruity in the most flattering way possible. Just a really nice, juicy, green zen type of scent overall. And despite that, it does have monstrous projection, especially in the sun, which I think this especially thrives in. Typically, you want something that's a little bit more effervescent for hot weather, but if you're looking for something that's light in nature enough yet projects anyway, if that makes any sense. Like, people will smell you, but your scent cloud won't feel like a leather jacket, for example. Definitely give this one a shot if you've yet to. Again, check this one out. It's called Wulong Cha by Nishane. Moving on, we're going to the fragrance that took the top spot last year. This one is by Off-White x BYREDO. It's called Elevator Music. And this stuff right here, I just feel really embodies a proper collaboration between both parties in Off-White and BYREDO. BYREDO really known for that storytelling by way of Ben Gorham in a nice, minimalist, futuristic way. Off-White, when it comes to their clothes, are really known for their street chic, deconstructive way of telling stories as well. So to have a fragrance here that's rather synthetic but kind of feels raw and futuristic at the same time, I think is really cool. Like overall, it's this austere vegetal kind of musk that I can definitely see people wearing on a runway, for example, maybe for an Off-White show. But yeah, I especially love wearing this when I'm kind of dressed like this, for example, where I'm just gonna stunt for the day, you know? That being said, as great a feedback as I do get from this from casuals, I've actually heard some of the opposite from actual perfume users, like fellow enthusiasts and whatnot. Like, I swear, do not pursue this stuff if you are not looking for something that is kind of synthetic, or really synthetic for that matter. Like, despite the vegetal musk that I kind of painted this scent as earlier, it also kind of comes off to me as painted cement too. Kind of like if you primed cement walls with primer or something like that. I actually kind of like that scent, and I think it really fits that brand aesthetic here in Off-White x BYREDO. So I just think that the scent makes sense overall. But I do definitely feel that there was a lot of R&D that went into this scent as far as, will people like this if it is sprayed at our storefronts? You know, that sort of thing. And honestly, that's kind of how I came into this scent myself. Walked into Off-White Toronto, smelled this at the front, and I'm like, boom, let me get that. But yeah, quite the feedback getter with the ladies as well, so check this out if you've yet to. Again, it's Elevator Music by Off-White x BYREDO. But last but not least, the grand finale, my most complimented fragrance of the year. It's without a doubt this one right here in Oud Overdose by Xerjoff. I swear for him, this right here, AK-47 of a scent. Can't go wrong with this scent anywhere, anytime. Summer, I'll just spray less. Winter, I spray more. For fall, it's awesome. For spring, it's awesome, if not perfect. So yeah, gotta love Oud Overdose for that versatility. And when it comes to that lovable scent, we're talking that Oud DNA, which is very citrusy driven and of course dries down into something a little bit more gourmand. But the Overdose takes it up a notch with this tobacco blossom, which is a little bit more enveloping as far as its scent cloud. Like, they really like this stuff. And honestly, it's not at least one compliment that I get when it comes to wearing this fragrance for an occasion or whatnot. It's also a head turner. Like, people will just ask me what it is without actually saying something. They'll just, I know, ask in their head. But it is that complete of a scent. If I'm trying to rock this for a more special day at work and or a date and or I just feel good and I want to feel good wearing a scent, I'll definitely look at this one right here. And I must share this personal anecdote of mine in my head to you guys. I'm pretty sure I've said this of this scent before, but I was kind of laughing at this flankerism calling it Overdose. I just thought it was pretty corny at the time, but then when I got a waft of this, holy crap, I was like, yeah, that smells OD. Let me hit some of that. Like, it's intoxicating, but it's still ethereal and pleasant from the initial Oudin DNA. So if you feel like you're not getting enough of your Oudin and you want something that's, again, a little bit more enveloping, please check this out in Oudin Overdose. I'm a big believer in the scent. I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of it when it was first announced. Maybe it's just because I'm apprehensive of niche flankers, but what can I say for him? I really do believe it's a real deal, at least in my experience, my results, and hopefully yours too if you check it out. Again, Oud Overdose by Xerjoff. But hey, forum, that about does it for me as far as my niche most complimented fragrances. Hopefully you enjoy the show, and if you guys want to tell me in the comment section below which fragrances niche-wise are your most complimented. However, maybe designer is more your cup of tea, so I'll leave that list in the description below as well. So please be sure to check that out too, and again, if you want to be eligible for that 500 like giveaway, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment as well. Until then, thank you for the ongoing support, so I'll see you later. Take care for now. Peace out. Bye. Wear your fragrances.